You in. All right. Let me take this off. Oh, my screen don't cover it all. All right, so we are live. It's been a while since we've done a McCamey Manor live, but we have a guest that is ready to tell her story about Russ and what he did to her with his group of minions. So here we go. All right. For those who don't know, this your name was Cooper when you were in the group.
Yeah.
So you went to McCamey Manor what, 3 times?
Yeah, 3 times.
All right. So just give everybody a heads up on how everything changed. Like when Russ turned on you, when things kind of went south, and I think I'll have the screenshots to go along with it.
Well, it was so I heard about the group during McCamey Manor during like the hype during October back in 2019. You know how they go on the hypes. And so I decided I wanted to do it. I was like extreme hot. Okay, let's see how far I could go. I didn't want to go there for the money or anything. I just wanted to see how far I could go. So I did all of the stuff that was required of me, did my online screening, and put on a wait list, and I waited. Well, the first time I was supposed to go, my husband totaled my car, it and some of y'all probably saw the video of me crying because that was something I wanted to do. And when I rescheduled my tour, I went I got sick during that tour. I don't know what happened. I caught a stomach virus or something, so I didn't make it very far. I really didn't. And then the second time I went, John was there, who was Russ's um, best friend. And I mean, I love John. John was a very awesome guy, very funny. He was very encouraging.
Yeah, he's the one that passed
Like,
away.
yeah, he passed away, but he was such a good guy to be around. Like, he was a really good person. And um, he even had his own little thing that he had going on. Like, he had an escape room and he had his haunted trails. And I got talked into doing his haunted trails by Chris, and who there was somebody else there. I don't remember. One of his friends was there. But the third time I went, it was a double tour, and it was a girl, my battle buddy that I knew back at Fort Stewart. That was the third time I went. Well, I would always check up on Russ, and after John passed away, I would check up on him regularly, ask him how he was doing, how he was holding up, if everything was okay, everything. Well, one day, one of my friends, she messaged me and she said, I'm talking to somebody, and she was so excited, and I was like really happy for her. And she informed me that it was Russ, and I was like, well, she started asking me what kind of guy he was, and he never done me wrong at that point in time. And I was like, well, he's a good guy. Like, I never had a problem with him. He was always kind to me. And I was like, I check up on him every once in a while. I was like, and I didn't have no problem with him while I was at my tours. And she was talking about how they really connected, how they were talking about getting into a relationship and everything else. And she wound up telling Russ that I knew that they were talking. And I told Russ I was going to go get married. He's like, yeah, I want to see your wedding photos, everything of that nature. Well, then he started asking me to ask my friend to contact him, because from what I understood was they were always talking to each other. And then one point she just stopped, or she had stuff going on. She had a lot of other stuff going on. Like, her daughter was sick. She had to take care of her grandbaby, and she was on the process of trying to find a place to move to, everything else. And I thought, well, that's weird. Like, you guys were talking every day. Let me make sure there's not something else going on or whatever. I did it the first time. I ain't gonna lie, I did it the first time. And they wound up getting back in touch, but come to find out, he went to dinner with a friend, another female friend, and that kind of off-put her, I guess.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, well, if you want to be with her, then you just need to be open about your feelings. I was like, I know you like her more than what you're telling me, because you wouldn't be, I'm like thinking in my head, you wouldn't be asking me to always get her to contact you if you didn't have feelings for the girl. So I kept pressuring him. I was like, well, if the girl was just a friend, then you just need to explain that to her. Like, it's just a friend, not to read into it. And this is before I realized he talks to a bunch of women.
Yeah.
So I was just like, talk to her, tell her how you feel about her. And then he went from, well, I'm just trying to get to know her. But yet he was whispering all these sweet nothings into her ear, making it seem like he really wanted to be with her. Well, then she stopped talking to him. And once again, he's like, you need to have your friend contact me. She stopped talking to me. I don't know what's wrong. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, and I have it in text message. I don't remember exactly word for word what I said or anything. I'm just giving the condensed version. But I was like, kind of getting off put about that. So instead of telling my friend, hey, you need to contact him, I asked her what was going on, because I knew she had a lot of personal stuff going on. She doesn't even get back to me immediately,
Yeah.
And she and I are really close friends. And we're still really close friends. And I know if she doesn't get to me, she's either busy with the baby or she's busy with her daughter. She's busy with something. And she's just like, he's always calling. He's always messaging me. Always. And I was like, well, I told her, I was like, well, since you two are thinking about being in a relationship, maybe you should talk to him about it and set up some boundaries, because boundaries are healthy in a relationship.
Right.
I didn't first be like, no, you need to leave him alone or anything like that. Like, that's what he, in his little mind, he doesn't realize that what I was actually doing behind the scenes. He, in his head, he probably thinks I told her, quit talking to him, he's no good, or whatever. He twisted in his brain, and that's not what it was. But I just told her, I was like, well, maybe you should talk to him about it if you think he's excessively calling or messaging, and just be honest and set up a boundary and be like, you're doing a little too much. I have this going on, Let him be there for you, but explain to him the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was 3 days of him constantly being like, You need to have your friend contact me. And then finally, this is what sent up the red flag to me, was when he told me, you need to tell your friend to pick up the phone. I'm dead serious, because it only takes 5 minutes to have a phone conversation. And that gave me a red flag right then and there. Because as someone who's been in an abusive relationship before, I look at red flags. Like, some people might not see them, but I see them. And when I see them, I warn people. And I saw that red flag was a waving.
Yeah.
And I was like, finally, I was like, I'm not telling her you're dead. Seriously, like, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, that was a miscommunication, because I thought he said to tell her that he was dead or whatever. Yeah, that might have been a misconception on my part. But it got to a point where I was just like, no, I'm not gonna tell her. Like, whatever you guys got going between you two is what is going on between you two. I'm gonna be like Switzerland. I'm not in it. I was like, this behavior is not appropriate. Like, and then he got mad at me because I told him the behavior was not appropriate. Like, that's not appropriate behavior for you getting to know somebody at all. Like, if someone was blowing up my phone and calling me, I wouldn't answer it, or I would just block the person and move on with my life.
Yeah.
And I had that before. But I couldn't escape the person because they actually lived in my house. But where the person, wherever I go, constantly calling, messaging me, and I just couldn't escape them, because eventually I came home to,
Can you see this
But,
comment?
huh?
Can you see somebody made a
Oh,
comment?
I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
Don't worry about it.
At least my nose is kind of clean. I have allergies. My bad. So anyway, I was like, your behavior is inappropriate. So he starts going. He's like, "Ha." I don't remember exactly what he said, but I was finally like, you know what? I was like, I'm calling you out as a friend. I said, that's why people like being my friends, because I don't sugarcoat anything, and I tell it like it is. I'm not gonna go with the behavior and tell you that you're doing right when you're doing wrong. I don't care who it is. If I see you doing the wrong thing, I'm not afraid to stand up and say it. And so he got hurt by what I was saying. I was like, you need to reread your messages. I said, it is inappropriate behavior. You said you sent her over 100 messages, that everything else is going on. I said, at the end of it, all my long spiel, I said, and she doesn't even contact me immediately. Well, he blocked me and kicked me out of the group. Okay, that's fine. I was gonna leave, no problem. Well, then people are hitting me up in my inbox. What's going on, Chelsea? There's this whole live about you. People are sending me the live of him claiming that I'm mentally unstable, I'm dangerous, I turned hater. I've been spreading all these lies about him, that I'm putting all this stuff on other people's pages. What he didn't realize was, as soon as he put that live up, I put all the messages up on my personal page, made it public, because he told people to go to me and unfriend me, block me if they knew me, everything else. And I wanted people to at least hear my side. And some people actually messaged me to hear my side.
Yeah.
Well, Russ got wind of it, that I did post those screenshots, and I was like, this is the real reason why I got kicked out of the group. Had nothing to do with me being in a hater group or whatever.
Yeah.
But he then sent people to come defend him on my statuses. So Lindsay Barlow, Ollie Payne, Sheila Jones. They all come up on my status to try and defend him. And there's a couple others that try to defend him. Need to say, a lot of them got ate up. Like a lot of people said, quit trying to defend his actions. And Lindsay Barlow tried to say that, oh, I was trying to have this girl watch some awful things, but she was too smart to understand this and blah, blah, blah. I'm still wondering who this girl was because I hadn't told anybody to watch anything or anything of that nature.
Yeah, I seen the post. I think the one that's up is the one he said that you joined all the hater groups and were sharing shit. You never put like you ain't even made a post that I've seen in my group. You ain't said
I
nothing.
hadn't made because I wanted to go live in your group because I didn't want to type it all. But in the exposing McCamey Manor, I think that group, I did make a post. And needless to say, they tried to eat me up and spit me out for breakfast, but it didn't work in their way because, yeah, they weren't very friendly over there. Some of them were, some of them not so much, but.
Well, I think half of them are people that support Russ too, so.
Yeah, well, anyway, that somehow made it back to one of the people that betrayed me, and I'll get into that later. But he sent those 3 people over to defend him, and there was some other dude that I don't even know his name to come over there and defend him. And Ollie was the worst. That girl has some mental health issues. Like, she does. And I said, like, got to the point where there was her and someone else. Gina was there. They were all like telling this girl, you don't need, like, defending me and saying, like, no girl owes him anything. If she wants to go ghost, she has that right to go ghost, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that girl actually hopped in my inbox. And she tried to say, pretty much she and I went back and forth because I got tired of being a nice person. And it takes a lot for me to get to that point where I become not so nice. Like, a lot of people who know me see like this smiling, nice person, but I only take so much before I actually turn and become a witch with a B. So Facebook don't tag this live and take it down. But I actually had to take my husband's phone, video it to prove that I didn't delete no messages, because these people in that group can get through their head that if you delete a message through Facebook, the message will say message unsent.
Yeah.
So any of those messages, if I would delete a message in that conversation, it would say message unsent, and it would say message unsent. So I recorded it and put it in there. And even with that, she was still in denial that Russ was telling the truth and that I was a liar. And that it got to a point where she was like, I'm a waste of life. All sorts of things. that just like awful things. And
Here's the
oh,
post he made. Go
oh,
ahead.
and I'm a waste of breath or something like that. I said, well, quit wasting your breath or something like that. And I went off on her because this girl pretty much is like, well, you tried to go to the manor 3 times. Yeah, I did 3 times, but I didn't turn against anybody. I didn't go lie about anybody. I didn't go make up stories about Russ to anybody. And I didn't go to any hater group hater groups. And even one was like, she's not in any hater groups. He's like, oh yeah, she's been in hater groups.
That's what he
One
always
text
says.
message, personal text message he sent to somebody calling me a pile of garbage. That was lovely. Told me I wanted to destroy everything of his. And I'm like, why would I go destroy anything? Like, I don't destroy things. And it was just like really off the wall crap. And then it just gets even worse. My friend still is getting friend requests from him. I don't even know how she keeps getting friends requests from him, but she sure is. Even though she blocks him, she's had her Facebook hacked. And this is the irony of the whole thing. She was talking to Lindsay Barlow. And Lindsay Barlow was saying some pretty darn bad things about Russ.
Mm.
Okay? Some bad things about Russ. And when she got hacked, they laughed and said, haha, you dumb. You should learn to secure your shit better. The only thing that was missing out of her Facebook was the messages between her and Russ and the messages between her and Lindsay Barlow. The rest of the messages were fine. Those were the 2 messages deleted after she got hacked.
How ironic.
Yeah. So he gave out enough of my friend's information to somebody to hack into her Facebook.
Mm. So I'm gonna
Because
read this
whatever
post.
it was said in those messages, those 2 did not want get out.
For anybody that can't read it, I'm gonna read this post that he made in his group that's on the screen. This is Russ making this post in his closed group to his minions. It says, I really do appreciate what Lindsay Barlow, Sheila Jones, Ollie Payne, and others posted on Chelsea Cooper's personal page. They were defending me, and I much appreciate that. What you don't understand is what Chelsea actually did. It's not her posting my private messages, but it's what she's passing to others on their personal pages. She's saying the most vile things imaginable, and Chelsea absolutely knows all that garbage is not true. She's trying to ruin a friendship and destroy me by spreading the most horrible of lies. This is why I'm so upset at Chelsea. One minute I'm her absolute favorite and she's loving me to death, and the next second, as soon as I blocked her, she's doing the unthinkable. So I truly appreciate all those who came to my defense and spoke up on her page. She left out everything that was important in this situation to make herself look better. You didn't see her make one little comment about what she really did. I personally asked Lindsay to share what she wrote. I felt it was important to get the truth out. What Chelsea is doing is pure character assassination, and I'm not going to stand for it. So thank you again for all the folks who defended me on our personal page. Chelsea knows that what she told others is an absolute lie, and she did it anyway just to cause me great harm, and that's just sickening and shameful. Russ.
And like the thing is I really wish he would be like, I wish I could have a conversation and be like, what lie did I tell? Like, what what comment is missing in my messages? Like, how about you post the messages that you and I shared, and you can show your little minions in there the message that is supposedly missing in this um in this screenshots of mine. I mean, he let people put in the link to my personal page. He went there and told him I was mentally unstable, that I was dangerous. That, and you know, the stuff that was on people's pages, what he didn't realize was they were sharing off my freaking page. I wasn't posting on to other people's pages. I'm not going to go through and be like, okay, well, who's a member of McCamey Manor? I can't see who's still a member of McCamey Manor because I'm not in the group. And those that shared it, and there was people that would leave, left the group because of his actions towards me and hearing what he was doing to my friend, harassing my friend. And there was people who were like, who told me about their side. She's not the first one he's harassed out of that group. There's a couple other women that have come to me and told me about their experiences with him. And like it was just awful. Like, one girl, I'm not gonna say her name, said that she was gonna do a tour, but she had to have emergency surgery or something come up and she couldn't do it. And when she said she couldn't do it because of such A, B, and C, he turned nasty towards her and started harassing her and said, well, you weren't going to make it anyway, or stuff like that. And that really like astonished me. Like, people warned me before I even did my first tour, and I didn't listen.
Well, I mean, Russ is pretty. I mean, he's got this demeanor, and he's I mean, he has this air that people like. I mean, granted,
Well,
you know about him.
well, he has that charisma and that
Yeah.
charm, and he's what I call a narcissist psychopath, because he acts like he has emotions, but they aren't really emotions to me. They're like fake to me. Like, he only uses emotions to manipulate people.
Yeah.
Like, listening to Susan's story and Holly's story and watching the YouTube videos of what he did with Holly when it came to, like, with that little glass box on her head and he was dumping water in it, or having her in the straitjacket trying to go through rat race. Like,
I'm gonna show you a picture for the people that are watching too. Um, I'm gonna share a picture of someone that went to Russ's. This is what they looked like before. This was on the hospital. I mean, this was on the plane ride to get to Russ's. All right, I'm gonna leave her name out because I don't want to drag her back in. But this is what she looked like before. As you can see, there's nothing that stands out in this photo. All right, so let me show you an after picture of her when she got through uh, at McCamey Manor. This was what she looked like. This was San Diego. So this wasn't Tennessee. No, this was San Diego. This is what he did in the chamber, the van that he had, and he drove people around and beat the hell out of them in the back of it. But Russ actually never touched them. His minions, his Mr. Black, Mr. Green, Mr. Blue, all those guys are the ones that actually beat the hell out of folks, and they fucked her up big time. And Russ had a personal thing against this this woman. He went real personal on her for things that he should have never even. He didn't have no business even sticking his nose in any of that. What she was doing in her personal life shouldn't have had anything to do with her tour, but Russ made it personal. So that's
And
what
it
he's.
was like, and like, I lost a lot of people because of what Russ did. So, I mean, I didn't just deal with what he was doing and sending his little narcissist flying monkeys to come harass me, but he also made me lose people that I actually had a friendship with. And yeah, Chris Fordamont, I'm calling you because I actually went to visit you in Mississippi. My husband and I spent time with you. Matter of fact, I went to the Manor with you to help out on one of your tours. Like, we talked. It wasn't like something, it was just one of those things. Like, we had a friendship. And he just turned his back on me and chose Russ over my friendship. Matt Lamerson, like, same thing. I had a personal relationship with Matt. We would talk about things. I'm not going to tell you all what we would talk about, but he and I would talk about things. And Matt, like, you should have thought about that before what you did. I'm like thinking, what did I do? Like, what did I do that was so bad? Like, I was like, I didn't even do any of those things that he's accusing me of doing, and he has no proof that I did do those things. And here you are going off him because you think he's a great guy.
All right, here's the message from Ollie on the screen to you. And she's. I'm guessing this is where she started. It says, "So this isn't about the person that Russ wanted to talk to, your friend, at all. This is about you. Funny how your true emotions come out when called out. So you're mad at Russ and making it a personal matter, but saying it's about that person and Russ. Classy. Saw your BS reports. The truth hurts to hear. I get it. You and your two friends got called out and you didn't like it. Too bad. Peace out. Good luck with your life." And then
That's where
there's
I sent her the videos to
yeah.
show that there was no messages
All right.
missing.
And then this one continues. So let me go to the next one, which I think is no. I gotta scroll through it. There it is. All right. And
And I can read it. I can actually read it. I don't need my
okay,
glasses. I said,
go ahead.
missing messages, bitch. Here is the video proof. Now exit stage right because you are ignorant as it comes. None of the messages from the screenshots are missing. Want to read it? Go right ahead. I didn't fucking lie about nothing. Another thing, I called you out on your BS because of your cognitive dissonance is showing. Now you can get the fuck on because I have better things to do than explain myself. You believe what you want to believe because you are flat out ignorant. I'm done being nice. Your reading comprehension isn't great. I proved the real reason why I was kicked out in the treatment of my friend. Now you see yourself out. Have a lovely life. And then she's like, totally believe you. Too bad we don't know if you deleted beforehand. Take care. Waste of life. Peace out.
All right. And then the next one. Oh, I don't know if that's the next one. Um, I think this is the next one.
She's like, saw your comment you left. You really know how to lie and stretch the truth. Make yourself the blonde. Shame on you. I really feel sorry for you now. You know I didn't delete my comments. I'm not afraid to leave what I said. You or whoever got into their feelings because they talk crap, but can't take the truth being told to them to report like rats. It's all good. You want to bend and twist the truth like a child, go for it. Karma will catch up. So what that was, she was fighting with one of the girls on it. And I mean, she freaked out. She started calling this girl out her name, like just showing her butt, okay? This girl wasn't just like, she went crazy, okay? Normally, I don't try to call people crazy, but she went crazy. And then she was talking about some stuff that happened to her. I'm not going to repeat it of what happened. Facebook took it down. But I thought she deleted the comment. Like, I thought she deleted the comment because of whatever. So then I said, actually, I don't bend and twist no truth. I tell the truth because I'm blunt and honest person. I don't need to lie. But you know who's going to get karma? Russ is. He's going to get all the karma for how he treated those women and how he treated me. Go talk to him about karma. He harassed my friend so much she had to block him. She still has all the texts and calls from him. If it was me, I would have put him on blast. But she's a lot nicer than I am. But you, there's an arrow. Can't read it.
I think
But
it's
you'll
clearly.
be a blind.
Is it that one? Nope. It didn't send them to me. I think that's your friend. Yeah.
Anyway, what I pretty much told her was that she is so starved for attention that she latches on to anyone that gives her that attention. And sadly, it was Russ who gave her that attention. So she latched on to his attention. And she wants his attention. So that is who she latched on to. And that is what definitely made her go kind of out there past Pluto.
I found
And
it.
then, huh?
I found the other one. I just got to re-download it from the. It didn't download for some reason. I don't know why. Let's see.
And it was like,
I gotta reload it.
yeah, that's what I think, Jeff. Like, he couldn't come confront me himself. He had to send other people to do it. Like, I'm one of those people, if you're going to talk about me, at least let me be able to defend myself. And then anyone who defended me in the group or shared the screenshots or did anything to defend me at all, their comments got deleted and they got kicked out of the group. So no matter who stood up for me, they were automatically booted out of the group.
Yeah, that's the way he operates. I mean, sadly.
And for all those people who think you can change him, no, you can't change him. He's a narcissist psychopath. He only pulls out emotions to use to manipulate people. I don't think that man is capable of feeling anything. He does not care who he hurts. He does not care what happens. He acts like he cares, but he really doesn't. Like, he really doesn't. It's all about control for him. If he can control you, then you're good to him. But if he can't control you and you have a mind of your own, then all of a sudden you're a problem. All of a sudden he needs to get rid of you. Like I remember when Melissa Everly was in the group. One day she was there. Next thing I know, Russ is making a whole live about her, calling her a hater, and how she went to the hate groups and everything else.
Yeah. That was a mess.
I don't even know what she did to tick him off.
Well, for her, I don't want to talk too much on her because she has her own story, but
Yeah,
it got
she
kind
has
of
her own
personal.
story.
It got really personal with her.
But I know, like, she even tried to warn me. Okay, she tried to warn me, but I didn't listen. Her friend reached out to me, tried to warn me, didn't listen. I don't remember his name, but Taco Tosh reached out to me and tried to warn me. I didn't listen. If I would have listened to them back then, it would have saved me a lot of problems that I had in July. July. Like, it was kind of like a double-edged sword, really, because I met some awesome people there that I'm still friends with to this day. But at the same time, I had to deal with Russ turning on me and making me out to be a villain when I didn't do anything wrong to that man. Except stand up for my friend.
Yeah, that's not surprising at all.
And the thing was I was supportive of that relationship. Like, it wasn't like I was telling him, hey, it's inappropriate, and then telling her, well, something else. Like, and I won't lie, when he turned on me, made that live about me, and did what he did, that's when I finally told her, I said, you need to turn around and you need to run. I was like, if he can turn on me like he did, like, it's just a matter of time. I can only imagine what he does to somebody else.
Yeah.
That was the only time I said for her to run out of that relationship. And she was already tired of him by that. And then her Facebook got hacked. And then she tried to escape and make another profile to escape. And he hunted her there too. Found her there too.
That's ridiculous.
And not only that, he tried to send her 15-year-old daughter a friend request.
Oh, Lord.
So to me, first of all, I don't even know how old he is, 60s or whatever. You don't send someone's daughter a friend request, especially when the mother ain't even talking to you.
No. Way not cool.
And this person isn't your family, not your niece, not your stepdaughter, not your cousin, not your sister. There's no need for it. There was no need for that at all. And I found that inappropriate too.
Yeah, Russ does all kind of shady shit.
And then, like, what really got me was he was talking about how he was trying to be with my friend the day he turned on me, and yet he was meeting up with another one of my friends.
Oh my God.
And she did the same thing that Matt and Chris did. She turned her back on me. She chose him over me, and we've been friends for like almost 2 years. At this point, who knows what all she told him that I've told her about. And I talked to her today. Like, I explained to her, like,
Crap.
that hurts. Like, that really hurt me. Like, out of all the people, like, her turning her back on me was the worst one. Out of Matt, out of Chris, her doing it was the worst one. Because I talked to her regularly. Like, we shared really personal stuff. And I don't even know, like, what all she might have shared with him about me. Like, and she's like, well, you called me a flying monkey. I said, no, I didn't call you a flying monkey. I talked about how you betrayed me as a friend, but I didn't call you a flying monkey. I said, you need to look up what a flying monkey is to a narcissist. Because I didn't call her a flying monkey. I talked about how she betrayed me, which she did. That's not a lie. And that still hurts. And talking to her today about it, it's like the pain is still there from yesterday. Like, it's still like bright and everything. And yeah, she apologized, but I'm not in the place right now to forgive her. I'm just not in that right headspace to be like, okay, I forgive you. Because I can't get over the fact that you did it in the first place.
Sorry, my Chrome force closed, so there's another me in here right now. I was trying to share the screen, but there it went.
So it's like, he just, the way I see it is, Russ is a narcissist psychopath. He will manipulate people. He will charm people. He will play the victim when things aren't going his way. He will do stuff to get attention.
Yeah, he's got some serious issues.
And I don't wish bad on him. Like, I don't wish him evil to be done on him or anything. Which name?
I guess he's saying it starts with a K.
Yeah, it starts with a K, but don't say her name.
I know one of his exes, he made a fool of himself on lives, doing lives, begging her to come back to him, crying, talking about how he couldn't live without her. He starved this girl, would not buy food when she lived with him in Tennessee, wouldn't buy food. She was eating ice out of the freezer for nutrition because Russ refused to buy food. She didn't have a car. She didn't have anybody there that knew her, didn't have a way to go. She wound up having to call the cops because she was hiding in a field one night. She ran out of his trailer and ran into a field hiding. And I think somebody saw her, asked her if she needed help, and they let her use the phone, and she called the police to get out of there. She wound up going to a women's shelter in Tennessee and then went back to Texas where she was from. But Russ does not have a great track record with women at all. It's horrible. It's a train wreck.
Like, the one thing I wish is that he would get the psychiatric help he needs.
And he knows he has a problem. Russ knows he has mental issues. It's
Like,
well diagnosed.
the thing is, I was mentally stable to go to the manor 3 times, but all of a sudden I don't do what you want. I'm mentally unstable now. Like, I really wish he would go get some psychiatric help and work through his issues. But it's at that point where he's at that age and you can't tell him nothing. Like, he's not going to listen. He's at that age where he thinks he knows better. He's going to continue doing what he's doing. He's going to keep picking out these women out of the group to try and date.
Yeah.
And really drain the, because, like, I know, like, how do I explain it? He's a narcissist psychopath, which is very dangerous because he doesn't care who he hurts or even feels remorse about it.
No.
Like, he hurt me, but I was the villain. Somehow he made it to where he got the attention on him, where people felt sorry for him. And that it was awful. I was just this villain. Like, I was this hurtful person that, oh my God, how could Chelsea, the person that was so into the group, do this to him? And a lot of people knew who I was because I was one of the main supporters in the group. Like, I supported all the people that did it. I was always there. Like, I watched every single live, not from Russ, because for a period of time, I couldn't watch every single live because I had my niece and nephew. But when contestants would have their lives, I would try and make sure, like, I didn't miss their lives.
Yeah.
And I would try to be positive and motivate them and talk to them and everything else. When they needed a person to do a challenge, I was like, sure, I'll go ahead. I can't tell you how many tubs of ice water I sat in. But the fact of the matter is it was 10 times worse because people are like, what? Our Chelsea Cooper? Like, and then you tell people 25,000 members plus that I'm dangerous. So that has me watching my back still to this day. Because who knows which one of them might be not mentally there. Might not be.
There's no telling. They're capable of a lot. I mean, it sounds. It sounds like you're talking about a fairy tale, but it's not. I mean, I know it's the internet, and it's just people in a group, but
Yeah.
they will track down people. They'll look at your friends list if it's visible, and they'll look at family members, whoever they can send something to. Groups you're in, if you're in, you know, Facebook groups of certain things, they'll send messages to people in there. They'll try to find where you work, call your job. I mean, there's just so much that they've done, and it's because Russ sends them. Russ tells them to do it. You know.
And that is like the thing because, you know, you fill out this paperwork to go into the manor, so he has your address. He don't have my number no more because it's changed, but he certainly has my address. Unless he burns those files, or I don't know what he
No,
does with those files.
Russ saves everything. Every tour he's ever done, he saves all that
So,
footage. He tells people he does not have footage. He does. He has it. This is part of the rest of the message from Ollie. It
Yeah.
kept force closing. My damn browser kept force closing and kicking me out for some reason. Chrome's a shitty browser. I need to switch.
This is where I told her, like, I hope she's never around survivors of abusive relationships because of how she put the blame on my friend, and she don't need to be around survivors of abusive relationships, of sexual assault people. If you can blame my friend for what happened to me, like,
Yeah.
you blamed me and my friend for what was happening to us instead of the perpetrator who was doing the deed itself.
I remember this one right here. Laura was talking about. I said I still can't get over the older gal that he made cry. Mary, the woman Mary that went. She was an older woman. I don't
I
remember her last name, but it was Mary. I know Mary was her first name.
Mary is a. I don't have any problems with Mary. Mary was always sweet to me.
And she lives close to him, don't she? Or close enough to come visit him time to time.
Yeah, but I don't know. But Mary was always nice to me. She always seemed outgoing to me. She seemed fun, like a fun person, and I really enjoyed talking to Mary.
Mm-hmm.
And
He was horrible to her.
yeah,
All right.
this is where she's like, dude, you're ignorant as fuck. I do not need love from any damn person. Why are you repeating that shit? You know, you're a waste of energy. You're obviously a bleak, stuck up, must have her way, lies about everyone snob, and I'm not good not knowing you. And I said, and you can keep on defending him, but at the end of the day, all those women can't be wrong. All that evidence cannot be wrong. And I'm not a waste of anything because you don't know me. But I'm here defending a person, but I'm not here defending a person who is obsessive, manipulative, abusive, and stalkerish at the end of the.
Hold on. Let me find it. Um, it skips, I think. Yep, it skipped.
I think it's.
Okay. Is it that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it said, I'm not the waste of anything, but I am not here defending a person who's obsessive, manipulative, abusive, and stalkerish. At the end of the day, I will continue to help people and I will continue to be a great person at the end of the day because you flat out blame the victim instead of empathizing, which is empathy, is what you lack. I feel bad for anyone that has you in their life because you are toxic as a person. You can keep coming at me. I have all night. It's a shame that as a person who went through what they went through, you blame everything on everyone else except where the blame should be. Keep defending him. I don't give a fuck because I know what I said is the truth. I know what I went through and what my friend went through. You were quick to blame her and I for his creepy ass behavior. All you're looking like is a narcissist flying monkey. Go ahead, flying monkey, fly high because he's doing exactly what he wants you to do. Keep making yourself look worse than you already do. And like, and towards the end, someone actually sent me a screenshot. I didn't send it to you. Where Haley Days finally said, everyone stop going. All I don't know the exact words, but she said, even though I shared personal messages between her and Russ to quit going after me as a mob, and let's just focus on getting the manor reopened.
Yeah, he's worried about that. He can't get anybody to show up.
And I don't know like what's going on with the manor. Like, I don't know. I've been out of the group since July.
He's begging. Well, Haley. All right, so I've been in it for 2 years and kept an eye on all that. Haley disappeared
Yeah, I
for
remember
like
Haley disappearing, but I don't know why she left or where she went. But then she came back.
I here my opinion and just what I think is yes, Haley Day's profile disappeared, but Haley did not leave that group. Haley was still in that group with a different profile, and then all of a sudden in August, she's just back. There she is, and she's making posts again about the manor and starting back up, and people coming, and shortly after she's made this post around August the 8th, or I've got a screenshot, I can pull it up, but she made a post about the manor and people signing up or whatever. And it wasn't but a week or two later that Russ is on a live bitching because people were canceling. They would say they wanted to come and set up a date and then they'd cancel last minute. And it's like, dude, you can't expect people to keep wanting to come play in dog shit in your backyard when this kind of stuff is what gets out about you. You're a narcissist pig. I mean,
I don't know what's going on in the manor. I don't know what's going on with him. But it's at that point where, like, I quit thinking about it because for a while that was the main part of my life. Like, you can ask Gina and other people who knew me. Like, the manor was a big part of my life. Like, that group was a big part. It was like one of those things, like, it was taken away because I just didn't do what he wanted me to do. And, like, what he didn't realize was those were private conversations. I wasn't going to go in the group and talk about it. I wasn't going to go publicly and talk about it. I didn't go publicly until he went publicly and made that lie about me and lying about me that I went public.
yeah.
And I think he thinks that I went away. I didn't go away. I just needed time to cope with things because, like, I was getting married. I got married. I wanted to enjoy my honeymoon and forget about what was going on in my life, about that part anyway. And then, like, the fall of Afghanistan, I had to deal with that. So, like, I had a lot of stuff, like, hitting me at once. And then my health on top of that hitting me at once. Like, it's a lot to deal with. And it's like, you really realize what kind of people, like, how did I explain this? I explained it to somebody. I said, he wears a mask in front of everybody else. But once you're on that bad side, that mask comes off and you see who he really is. You see who he is without that mask. Everyone else, he's charming, he's charismatic. People like that. Ted Bundy was charming, and he was a serial killer.
Yeah.
I mean, um, who else? I mean, like, it's just like one of those things. Like, you you can see people and they can have that charm, but do you really know who they are? You only know him based on his online persona. Like, you don't know him on a personal level.
Yeah, I want to play something right quick for everybody to hear. This is Russ on a one-on-one with somebody and how he talks to somebody that is turning against him. I'm not going to say who this is or anything like that. This is somebody that Russ turned on and did her so shitty. And I mean fucking horrible. It is ridiculous. But this is an audio clip, and you just catch part of it because they were having problems getting this, but they did get some of it. So just listen to what he said, how he says the things he says, what little bit there is to catch. Let me turn it up. All right. If you couldn't tell, that was somebody crying on the other end, and that was Russ talking about he wanted to see their face, and he knew this person was crying on the phone. He wanted to see him crying. It wasn't good enough that he could hear it and hear him sobbing. He wanted to see her face. Now, what kind of asshole treats a female like that? I mean, it's fucking just.
Hold on a second. Can you hear me? Oh, there I
Yeah,
am.
yeah.
Sorry. I got a phone call. No, like I
Oh,
didn't
they
hear
couldn't hear it.
I couldn't hear it.
Ah,
You might just have to put that in by itself.
I wonder if it's because I muted my mic. It shouldn't be. Um, Tell me if you hear it now. You hear that?
Mm-mm.
Phone ringing. Ah, all right. I don't know why it's not playing. It's got to be something with StreamYard. But anyway, um,
Like it was just he he goes after women, and it's awful because it's like he picks out the women he can try to control, they can manipulate easily, that he can use and play on their emotions.
it still didn't.
No.
Damn it. Oh well. Um,
And I mean, there's people that think they can change him. You can't change him.
no.
Like, there's stuff seriously wrong with him, and you cannot change him. Like, I don't even think at this point a psychiatrist or a psychologist could change him.
No,
Or,
it's years and years of stuff that Russ has done, and he's used to the lifestyle. He's used to people that just bow down and do what he wants, and when he says what he says, whatever. And if he doesn't get his way, he acts like a child.
And like I I really started like digging in because I was like, well, I was like, well, I need to learn more. Like, I need to start digging. And I started digging. And then I started realizing, like, all his stunts are exposed in the group, in one of the groups. Like, that's probably why you don't want anyone in the hater groups because his stunts are exposed in those groups. And I realized, like, I looked at the stunts and I'm like, are you serious? And read about the stunts. And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I,
And then, like, I started digging into, like, YouTube videos and everything. And who says, oh, we had one heart attack? That's the good stuff, or whatever he said. With no remorse, no emotion. Like, that was the greatest thing to ever happen there. Rather, like, that's not something to be proud of.
no.
That is like having someone have a heart attack is not something to be proud of at all.
Well, he put that out, but it didn't really happen. He just put it out to make people think he's just the best.
I know,
He
but still, like, even
bragging
lying
about
about
that.
that
Yeah, just
is
bragging about
awful. And then saying that was some great stuff is horrible
it.
too.
Yeah.
Like, that, there's nothing great about someone getting harmed like that.
No.
And like, and then like I came across, I remember coming across Holly's story. I think it was last year or something. And I was like, kind of like, I was still, I wanted to believe it. But then I was like, nah, that can't be Russ, Russ wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you would.
And then I'm like, now that it's happened to me, I'm like, yeah, he probably definitely did that stuff to Holly. Like, the abuse she suffered. And then I didn't even know about Carol's story, okay? I didn't even
Oh
know
yeah.
about Carol until I got into this group. So then I started trying to research Carol's story. I didn't even know there was a Carol.
Oh yeah.
And then I watched Susan's story. And I was like, this guy is really screwed up in the head. With the abuse these women have suffered. And emotional abuse is just as bad as physical abuse, in my opinion.
All right. See if y'all can hear this. You hear that?
Yeah.
Sorry. Do what? Yeah, sure. What? I said, yeah, sure. No, you don't have to. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Trying sometimes get a better idea of people when I see them, but that's okay. Are you even there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, he's trying to feed these guys a minute.
Okay, that's not me.
Like, you hear that? Like, the woman's clearly upset. She's been crying. Instead of being supportive of her, he changes it on to him.
Yeah.
Like, it's about him and how he's feeling. Who cares how she's feeling in that moment? It's all about what he wants and how he feels.
Yep.
And he starts playing on, I don't know what happened before or what he did to her before, but clearly she don't want to be on FaceTime with him. And he is trying to manipulate her to get on FaceTime to please him. If you caught that at the end. Like, it's about him. It's not even about her. It's about him and his self-gratification. It's not about how she's feeling. It's about him and his self-gratification. So whatever he did to this woman before, he knew he already had her defeated and beat down to the point where she's crying. But then he wants to get that self-gratification, like, haha, look what I did. And look at her crying. Because whatever that does, it's a control thing.
Yeah. He knows how upset, because it's not a stranger to him. He knew who he was talking to. He knows how upset she was. And he was using that to his advantage because he knew what kind of emotional shape she was in.
Yep, it was all about him.
Yeah.
Not about her. It was about him. To him, who cares how she's feeling? It's all about me and my feelings and my emotions. Not that I think he has emotions. I think he pretends to have emotions to manipulate others into believing he has emotions. Because you see that in psychopaths. Like, if you watch the series Signs of a Psychopath, and you watch even the psychiatrists and psychologists, the psychologists say that psychopaths will bring out emotions that they think they should have during the moment. Rather, it's crying or shock, but they just can't get it right because they don't have those emotions. They don't know how to connect to people. And if they had narcissism, it's just as bad.
All right, I'm gonna show Russ's messages if I can get them. I'm trying to get them in some kind of order, because it rearranged them. Okay, here's where he's talking about your wedding. And I guess maybe that's the first one. I don't know for sure.
The first one.
Okay. All right, let me blow it up. All right. Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right. You want to read it or you want me to?
I'll read it. It says, "How very exciting. I can't wait to see all your wedding pictures. On another note, your friend blank stopped talking to me. I have no understand what she's doing. Can you please find out for me, please?" And I was like, "When did she stop talking to you? I know her daughter is having some health issues right now, and she's at the hospital with her right now. She stopped talking today." I said, "Did she say why?" I said, "Her daughter has been really sick, and she's been taking care of her and the baby. I'm sure she'll get back with you. She hasn't talked much to me either today. Not really, just talking about how tired she is, different things going on, but everything changes. Seemed like after last night, she just got a little bit odd about things. Try to see what's going on for me and get back to me, have her contact me. I was like, okay, what kind of odd things?
All right. And then I think it goes back to here.
I was like, I'll try and figure out what it is. She started acting different after last night. I went out with a friend of mine last night and things got odd. She just kind of stopped communicating with me and I don't know. I was like, was the friend a female? It was a female friend, someone I've known for a long time. It was a very nice evening and a very important evening because we talked a lot and it was good. It doesn't change anything with.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know that was there.
I still want to talk with her and what you have, but she just acting very funny right now. Tracy was going on for me. Please have her contact me. I'm talking in the phone. The words aren't coming out right. I don't know who Tracy is. Just figure out what she's doing and have her start talking to me. I don't understand what she's doing. I was like, I'll figure out. Maybe you should tell her how you feel, what you feel. Tell her your feelings for her and let her know that she's the only one that she's. I can't. The arrow's in the way. Only woman you have eyes for right now is her.
All right, then I think it goes back to maybe here. No. Nope. Damn it. Nope. God. It really rearranged them. Oh, that was the first one. I think.
Yeah, well, they worked it out. So that's good to hear. Thumbs up. I was like, I went to Walmart and pulled the Russ and forgot dog food. And then he's like, hey, Chelsea, do me a favor. Tell that that she needs to start talking to me, laugh out loud. She needs to pick up her phone. She needs to call me. This is ridiculous, laugh out loud. No excuses for her not to talk to me. Call her right now and tell her I'm dead serious. I want to talk to her. I said, I'm not telling her you're dead. She has a lot going on. Patience is a virtue. She'll get back with you when she isn't busy. Quit freaking out and relax, young grasshopper. No, she needs to call me. This is ridiculous. It takes 5 minutes for me to have a conversation. She needs to call me.
All right. And then that goes into this one, right? Yeah.
She's packing, taking care of a sick child, and taking care of a 4 or 5 month old. If you want to have a conversation so bad, call me. I'll talk to you. But I'm not the middleman. What goes on between you two is what's between you two. You are both adults. I'm Switzerland. I'm neutral because you are both actually both my friends. Word of advice: relax. This behavior is not acceptable. If you're trying to get to know someone. Not everyone is attached to their phone and everyone has things going on in their life. If you were going to do this to me, I would run the other way, honestly. He's like, forget about it, not a problem. I'll be writing you any more about this. See you later. I said, I know it sounds harsh, but I'm blunt and honest and say how it is. And then he's like, you're so wrong. Saying funny, not a problem though. I'm not gonna bother you with this anymore whatsoever. You're way off base. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye bye. One more thing. This behavior is not acceptable. Are you serious? See you later.
Let's see. Nope. I wish it didn't skip around like this.
It should be 2 purples. Nope, it's not that one.
That one. Crap. Glad I'm not at work. Okay, this is where you left off in the other one. Packing, taking care of a sick kid.
I already read that one.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Yep.
yeah, that's the one you just read. Damn it. Why does it do this? I wish I use the Messenger app, not like Facebook.com and then Messenger from there. Like Windows has an app
Well,
for Messenger.
needless to say, the last ones I'm telling him on how him saying he sent her 100 some messages, how he's always constantly calling her, and everything was inappropriate. That he needs to reread his messages to me, and everything else, and telling him how she doesn't even contact me immediately, and that was just that. And then he blocked me after that. Like, I don't wish him ill. Like, I saw online where that guy was threatening to, like, burn his house and cut off his head, everything. And I don't wish ill on the man. I don't agree with what he does. I think he needs some serious psychiatric help, but I don't think no one should go murder him, you know?
Right.
Like, I don't condone violence, really. I'm not a violent person as it is. I will only be violent if I have to defend myself against something or have to defend others. But other than that, like, I don't wish murder on nobody. I don't wish anyone's house burns down or anything like that. So to me, that was him being upset about that. I could see why he was upset about that. Because I would
Yeah.
be upset if someone said, well, I'm going to burn down her house and cut off her head and hang her in the tree. Yeah, I'd be upset too if someone said that about me. Like,
Yeah.
and
I
so,
mean,
like, there's points and times where I can empathize with him. Like, when John died, I knew that hurt him really, really bad because John was his best friend. And as someone who's lost someone close to them suddenly and there's no explanation, yeah, it kind of hurts and everything. And and I sympathize with him losing that person that was close to him. And I
yeah.
think that aspirated where Russ is now. From what I hear, Russ is losing his mind now.
Yeah, he's not in a good place. Like he gets so worked up over people faking him out on coming to visit. Like he just gets so upset over this. Like I got a clip of him the other day because Russ has been a big uh his one of his big things was no cussing. No cussing, no drink. He's never drank, which is a total lie. But he don't
People
cuss.
aren't gonna see me. I'm gonna go smoke.
He don't do nothing like that. He don't use curse words. But I got a clip the other day of him talking about how he hates living in middle of fucking nowhere is what he said or something like that. Like he dropped a F bomb in one of his lives. Like he's not keeping a grasp on things real well.
Yeah, I feel like losing the one person like that held him together
Yeah.
has aspirated his mental health decline. Because before John passed away, like, Russ was a different person. And
Yeah, he was more upbeat.
he was more
Um,
upbeat, he was more positive. He but then once John passed away, like, Russ has turned he's just changed. Like, he tries to put on this upbeat personality, but really something's eating him up inside.
yeah, I know that bothered him with John. And I'm not a. He thinks I'm a hater. I'm not. I'm not a hater. I don't hate the guy. Like, I didn't start doing videos and shit because I hated the guy. I wanted to show people the lies that I found, because I didn't start out just in a hater group. I started out in the closed group. I was a member of his group.
Like,
And
as what he did to me, I don't hate him. I forgive him for it. But the way he treats others isn't acceptable to me either. Like, I don't hate him. I forgive him for what he did to me. But I don't condone what he does to others. Does that make sense?
yeah, Gina, I don't know who that is, but I've been seeing that. There's also, he's went to a motel that somebody got a room and invited him up to go do something,
And
to go to a haunt or something.
who it is, probably whatever, but like, something's really wrong with Russ. And if he has someone close to him, like, they should be doing an intervention for him and trying to get him the help he needs, because clearly he's depressed. He must be really depressed or something. Because
Well, Carol tried years ago and took him to several psychiatrists, more than just one or two, like several, and every one of them it was the same thing. He would walk out. He would get up in the middle of it and walk out and tell them that it was their fault, or Carol's fault, or it was all somebody else's fault besides Russ.
that kind, I think he needs a grief counselor.
That's his problem. He don't know how to handle any kind of grief.
And that's what I think he needs, is he needs to step back. As much as he loves his manor, he needs to step back from that manor and get himself right. So that way, if he does open that manor back up, he's the person he needs to be for that manor. Because like he says, safety is paramount. But if you're not in the right headspace for your contestants, one little thing could be wrong. And that puts your contestants in danger too.
Well, Russ had some childhood trauma that he's never worked through, and he has, like, somebody just asked, the deal with him working at Walmart. Yeah, he's a door greeter at Walmart in Tennessee, in Summerton. Heather said, I know he kept mentioning children, that his daughter talked about that kind of stuff.
I don't
Uh,
about
Susan.
about the children thing. I'm not going to comment on that because I'm not going to comment on something that I have no knowledge of.
I
That
I
is,
talk. Yeah, I've kicked people out of the group and deleted posts from people calling him a pedophile, because up until Susan, nobody had anything concrete to show that Russ had ever done anything or said anything like that. But when I talked with Susan and found out what she had to say, oh, and he did have a serious brain trauma from a carnival ride. He was on a roller coaster and he had an aneurysm, I believe. I can't remember if it was an aneurysm or a, um, yeah, it was an aneurysm,
and
but I think it ruptured.
I
He had a
don't,
brain bleed. He had a brain bleed in like 2007. And
and like,
normally those are traumatic, and people don't live through them. Brain bleeds are serious.
yeah, and I don't hate Russ. Like, I don't condone how he treats people. Like, I don't hate the man. I don't need to lie about the man. But what he did to me was unacceptable. And I hope one of his little minions that's probably in this group, who's probably video recording, he watches all the way through, because I wish he would get the help he needs. I wish he worked through the issues he has, because he needs to get right if he wants to open that manor back up.
Well, if you notice, um,
And like
he,
him talking about people's weight, like
oh yeah,
like don't be talking about people's weight. fat shaming ain't cool.
If you,
Like, don't be like, for me, for example, like when I was on lockdown, I had unexplained weight gain. And I don't know why I out of the blue gained 75 pounds, but I did. But then I found out that I have lupus. And like for some people, it causes weight loss. For some people, it can cause unexplained weight gain. But it's kind of hard to be mobile when all your joints hurt or they're swollen or you can barely walk on your feet because it feels like you're walking on glass and things of that nature.
yeah.
And it's also caused me to have high blood pressure. It's caused me to have neuropathy in my hands and feet. So even if I was still part of the group, they would never see me as a contestant again because of my health issues.
Well, if you notice when Russ would talk, um, there when he slacked off doing lives, he was always talking about how he didn't have anybody to do anything with. He's always talked about how lonely, that he was in the middle of nowhere. He didn't have anything to do. He didn't have anybody to hang out with. And I think that's a big factor in why he acts the way he acts, because he don't have anybody.
Yeah,
Nobody, like he. It sucks to say this, but Russ screws himself out of friends left and right for the way he does, way he treats people. People are friends with him for a little bit, and the only person that stayed a friend of Russ the entire time he's been in Tennessee was John.
and
Um,
after John passed, it just made him more lonely. Like I could, like if I lived out in the middle of nowhere, like I'm gonna use my example. Like, yeah, I live in town. I have my fiance, I have my husband, and I have my brother living with me. But when I go to call my friends or talk to my friends, I just look and I'm like, I really don't have that many friends. And sometimes I do get lonely. Like, I know I have like Gina as my friend, and I know I have my battle buddy, Eddie, that I've known for 11 years now that I could talk to. Like, there's not people,
you're cutting out.
there's not very many people like I can call, you know? So him being out in the middle of nowhere, not socializing with nobody, probably doesn't help his mental health. That we already know he has mental health issues. It just makes it worse. And then on top of that, he lost his best friend who he did everything with. And he's just in a really dark place to me, it seems like. Like, I feel like he's in this really, really dark, dark place. And I wish he would just get some help for himself. But until he admits to himself he needs that help, he'll never get the help he needs.
No. I don't want to rush you, but we're almost at 2 hours. Is there anything else you want to add
No.
before we? Because I think it was a good live. I enjoyed it. I never did like talk to you in private and find out all the details. I knew what happened. I seen the post and I seen what he was doing, and I went and looked at your Facebook right when it happened and seen what he had people coming and saying, and I wasn't going to just out of the blue send you a message like, "Hey, come talk to me about this," because I figured you probably had enough going on. But I did know what was going. I did watch it unfold and thought it was a total shit show for him to do that to
Yeah.
somebody.
And The one thing is I don't wish ill on him. I don't want anyone to go and harass him after this video, this live. I don't want anyone to be like, well, what you did was fucked up or anything. Like, just leave the man alone. Like, don't even hit him up about it. I know one of his minions are probably in here, probably sending it to him right now after it ends. But I hope he watches the whole thing and see that I hope for nothing but the best for him. And I hope he gets his head straight before he does decide to reopen the tours, so that way the contestants could definitely be safe. Because right now, from what I hear, he's not in a good headspace. Like, I mean, I got sent a post, or I found a post on one of the online groups or something about him talking about how his name was Russ McCamey. He lives all the way in Summertown, Tennessee. How the contestants pretty much don't do their tours, and he's done with the Manor, and that he kicked his butt, and he really don't want to do this or something like that. And I'm like thinking, like, the Manor was a big part of your life. That just shows me right there that he's kind of depressed, that he's not wanting to do his own show.
Yeah. Well, Russ used to be his biggest troll. I mean, Russ would troll his own group. He would play hater. He would hire people to be haters to come in and stir controversy. I mean, as far as an idea, I'll give him credit. He had a great idea as far as an extreme haunt. His carrying out, he just, it's always been a one-man show, and you can't do that kind of thing. You just can't. Like, you can't take the risk that Russ was taking, especially when it comes to dry drowning in water and stuff like that, because it doesn't take very much at all to dry drown somebody.
Yeah, I know what dry drowning is. Isn't it where the water gets trapped? Where does the water get trapped? A little bit of water gets trapped. It just takes a little bit.
It causes your epiglottis to open, and the water goes into your lung. And salt water is more apt to do it, because fresh water doesn't contain salt. The human body does contain salt, so when the epiglottis senses water without salt, it's supposed to close. But dry drowning, when you dry drown, the epiglottis is caught open just enough to let a little bit of water pass through. It gets into your lungs. You wind up with pneumonia, and it's not good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening to my story.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, and like I said, I mean, if you want to add to it, or if there's more you want to show, or if I can get it in order and show all the stuff that we had. Messenger just does not download files correctly. Like, I downloaded it twice. I did it again a while ago, and it keeps downloading like the same one twice, but leaves out like you sent one message that had like 4 pictures in it.
Yeah.
Well, it downloaded 2 of the pictures 2 times each, and didn't download the last 2 at all. So they got to fix it, because it's so screwed up.
Yeah.
I should have just used Facebook on Chrome, but I was trying to use the Messenger app on Windows.
All right.
But I do have I do have the messages that show the original pictures. I just can't get them to download right.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you want to come back, you're welcome. And hey, if you I'm gonna be doing some paranormal stuff with another group, and you're welcome to join in and watch. If you want to be a part of that, because we have one coming up Tuesday, I believe.
What's your stuff?
Let me let me share that right quick. It's the person I put on screen right there, Laura Swint. She is going to be doing some paranormal stuff Tuesday with us. I'm going to have her on.
Link.
All right, here's the channel for the paranormal. And I can send it to you in a PM too, right there. So if y'all want to catch that, tune in Tuesday. We're going to start at 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. And Laura's going to be doing some ghost stuff.
Yeah, I have plenty of paranormal stuff.
So yeah, you might be able to entertain us on a live on the paranormal channel. We can do some stuff there.
All right.
So I enjoyed it. I'm glad you came on.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Bye.
All right, y'all have a good night.
You too.
All right, bye.